Phoenix Rising might have won in El Paso. There might be another game coming up. But I hear these guys will also be like with the supernatural. Ooh.
No, he did it. He did the thing.
Let's go! Welcome in to the PHNX Rising podcast. Appreciate everyone joining us here on a Wednesday. We got everyone in the chat doing their thing. Make sure to hit a like button on the way in. The Wilsons, Deborah, everyone in there. Scroll on up if you would, Noah. Make sure we got to get all the people in there. Everyone, appreciate you guys. Hit that like button. Like I said, we're the boys, the lads. We're back in town, and we are talking the next round of the USL Championship playoffs. I am, of course, Max, the ad man Simpson. To my left, your right, we got Owen, the Oracle Evans.
Hello.
And to my right, we have Rees, the stat lackey Goodall.
Hello, Max Simpson.
How we doing?
Good, are you?
Good. We got a lot to talk about. Thomas in the chat, El Paso down. Let's go.
Down.
Man.
Yeah, can we start actually? This is something I kind of want to talk about. I don't think we did on the post game show, but I want to talk about it now.
Okay.
El Paso's score graphic tweet after the game.
That is it is a bold move.
So we're starting with this. El Paso
It's a
loses.
bold move.
Obviously, they post the final score graphic.
Mhm.
They've deleted it since.
Shame.
They deleted it. It was up
shame.
today. I saw it today. They posted the final score graphic with "We lost." By the way, call this number to get a
Immediately
season
asking for
next
tickets.
year. On the final score graphic tweet.
I appreciate the hustle, but poor execution.
No,
poor
not good.
execution.
And they've deleted it now.
Poor execution.
I
And
didn't
then
even know they
backtracked.
deleted it. I went to find it. It's gone.
Bad. Yeah, it's a bold move to say, hey, we just got bounced from the playoffs, and then in the same body of the tweet being like, by the way, join us next season. Here's the phone number to do it. That's a crazy move. The phone number to me is the crazy part. Even the join us next season, you can get away with that from me to a point. But it's the phone number being like, hey, by the way, call to make your season ticket deposit. That I'm sure some team has done it, but that's at least unprecedented in my book for off of memory. Have you seen something like this before, Rees? It's been done before, I'm sure, but off memory.
I'm sure, not really off memory.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also just a very funny thing for El Paso of all teams to do, because you look at that stadium on Saturday night, and what was the attendance announced at, like 3,500?
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Sounds right.
Not great.
It was not good. In fact, I can pull the exact one in a minute. But
while you're pulling it, we got
was
to
bad.
shout everyone in the chat. Deborah, hitting us with the Supporters Club emojis, saying hi to Goalie Man Pat. Yes, it is 2 shows in a row. We are on a streak. And Bandages Bluebird, by the way, with a new nickname for Rees. I hear it's Rees
You did
Truck.
hate trucks.
Good
You
haul.
hated trucks on
It's
the
more
road.
Absolutely.
appropriate.
this man
Stay in the
hates
right lane.
trucks that like do the whole like I'm gonna block the whole freeway.
They need to stay in the right lane.
They need to
There's
stay in their lane.
signs
They need to
all
literally stay in their
over
lane.
the freeways telling them to stay in the right lane. When they get into the left lane, it is one of the most ridiculous things ever.
We will have more on the road trip because I know that these boys really enjoyed their
No, I didn't.
I mean, Reese enjoyed ranking all the various places we got to see.
Yeah, just
and these
love
boys
that.
did get the chance to review or educate. Let's say we're going to educate the people later
Let's go. We got
on something big that we did manage to see while we were.
nice.
on
I
the
love
road.
it. We got Thomas in the chat saying it's a home game for us, Road Warriors. James Wilson echoing. We had a nice chat with the Wilsons, of course, and we were louder than all of them.
Hey,
James
no one
Wilson
showed up.
echoing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Listen, they try to put rising supporters, right? The Bandages, they try to put them in a obscured section, which that's a whole nother thing we can talk about. But it didn't end up mattering. We enjoyed the whole thing. They can make their tifo of a Phoenix is no longer rising scoreboard. Right, let's talk about it. Let's get into that match. Phoenix Rising 1, El Paso 0, Goose Egg, nada. Right, again, we talked about it in the post game. and which you can go watch again on PHX Sports on YouTube. Listen to where you get your podcasts as well. Right. It was a pretty cagey game till El Paso go down to 10 men, then Phoenix Rising get the penalty kick. You know, guys, I'm curious if your opinions change. We kind of talked about it in the postgame. We felt that if that red card didn't happen, very much could have seen this going the distance to kicks after extra time. We'll, of course, never know. In retrospect, with some more time elapsed, do we feel there was any clear-cut winner before then? Do we still think this would have been a kind of cagey match, all for a full 90 minutes plus 120 through to PKs?
This was going the distance.
Absolutely.
Yes.
There was just nothing in it from either team, especially El Paso, who finished the game with 0.11 expected goals. Not a pretty number by any stretch. And Rising, they really didn't produce anything too clear cut. Yes, they had some good chances. Obviously, their final expected goal tally is a little skewed by the penalty. They finished with 1.77, probably be like 0.98 around there. Remove the penalty, pretty much around 1. But there wasn't really any of those opportunities that you can really look back at and think, hey, Rising deserved a goal with that chance. They should have finished that off. And because of that, I think the only way that game was ending before Frank DeRoma got sent off was penalties.
Before Frank DeRoma got sent off, Rising had 7 shots, only 1 on target all game. 0.57 XG at that point. In fairness, still better than El Paso, because at that point when DeRoma was sent off, El Paso had taken a 1 shot. That is 1 shot, not 1 shot on target. 1 shot. Which was off target.
Yes.
For a 0.03 XG. So shout out to El Paso on that one. That was great.
It's you know, I think the interesting part about it, again, we talked a lot about it. Most of the action very much was in the center of the pitch, right? A little bit, you know, around the 30-yard marker for each team. So kind of just outside the 18-yard box. Both teams threatened a bit here and there, but there really wasn't that cohesive final balls. It seems like both teams were very much content to scrap it out a bit. You're trying to see some individual bits of quality. Both teams offered it in spurts, but just not the complete thing. I mean, really, we mentioned on the postgame, the red card very much made the difference. And I know we talked about it, you know, in the moment on Saturday, but even retrospect and looking back, it just looks like an even, not the decision, but in our minds, right, the worse and worse, the action committed. Like, I get there's some frustration. You watch the replay back. I don't get how you lose your head in that moment in a playoff atmosphere. And you can just see, like, dude, his teammates are giving him the bruh look. Like, it's just a tough, inexcusable thing as a player. You got, if you're his fans, I don't even know if you're good for him, because you're just upset. You're upset in the moment on how he conducted himself, you know? And
he already shoves JP Skierce right before he then kicks. You could debate if he actually kicked him or not, but, you know, launches a kick. And it's stupid. It's just one of the more ridiculous things I've seen from a player in that moment, especially at home. It's not like the fans are getting under his skin and in a difficult atmosphere away from home, where you kind of can understand how the frustration was boiled over, not why. But it's a ridiculous thing to do at home as well.
100%.
Absolutely. Got some chats in here as well. Thomas in the chat, our defensive efforts were solid. I'll give the boys that, but we have to finish the easy chances. 100%. Tulsa presents a different opponent, but you won. I think a little bit fraudulent at home, but we will get into that. Going by Pat, Rising has fully embraced their best chance to win the past month. Just sit back and grind out a 1-0 result. It may not be pretty, but it's what can get it done in playoffs, as we see. And then Bales could care less about the control on a baseball pitch. Well, guess what?
Got another one.
Baseball pitch. Gotta love it.
Guess what? If they win, they might be going to Albuquerque.
Guess what?
Baseball
pitch. I mean, that's crazy.
Oh, and one side vacation to Albuquerque.
Dude, that's the trifecta for this man.
Rees just wants to go to Pie Town.
Who doesn't?
I mean, to be fair, we have been talking about Rees food reviews for Albuquerque and what we'd kind of have to do along the way.
That's fair.
Because I know that Rees is a huge fan of
his
food reviews.
Yeah. Any other individual performance? I know, again, we did a whole post game on this, so if you want to go back, check out our show from Saturday directly afterwards. Anything further we should mention on an individual performance? Good, bad, and different from Rising?
I think just to go back to what we said on the post game, not to just repeat it again, but I think it is something that deserves to be repeated with how good and instrumental he was in this game. Jean-Eric Moursou has been the main piece as to why this defensive system has worked over the last few weeks and why Rising are finding out results in ways and games that they probably shouldn't. And it was another game like that. But also, I was shocked, and we said this on the post game as well, that Moursou finishing the match was shocking.
Crazy.
And there were really 3 instances where it would have made sense to take him out of the game. Halftime, right out of halftime, and then later on, like around the 60 or 70th minute mark, not even trying Max to do a 6-7 there, but the fact that he finished the game, and he was also finished the game with full sprints, was something that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Fair.
100%. Deborah in the chat, when is the next game? Going to be Saturday, 6 p.m. local time. Sorry, not local time. Arizona time. Yes. And then Ben is Bluebird. All that matters is winning in the playoffs. Style of play is irrelevant. I mean, 100%. Listen, at this point, don't get me wrong. You want to see beautiful football being played, but also, I mean, you're holding the trophy. It don't matter. It don't matter. Rybot Bales in the chat. If Moursou keeps playing at this, he'll be gone by next June. Yep, 100%. Right. He's a very much high quality player. And something that we'll get into that.
I will say, hang on, man. No. Before we move on, I believe Jean-Eric Moursou, to be clear, is on a loan with option to buy.
It's fair.
So as I understand it, he's coming back next season, but he's also still on loan again with option to buy.
With an option
to
buy. Welcome, Deborah.
We'll see.
Absolutely. We got more to talk about. We got a game to preview, and we're going to do so on the other side of break. All right, guys. Circle K. What a partner. You know how many Circle Ks we stopped by?
Quite a few.
Got to get gas, got to fill up on the snacks, and Circle K came ready and loaded. And listen, Circle K, we're obviously very partial to the ones in this beautiful state of Arizona, which, like, by the way, you never really appreciate something until it's gone, until you're back to it. We were so happy to get back in Arizona, to get back into Maricopa County with everything going on, because goodness, New Mexico, parts of Texas, desolate places, but it made it better because of our friends at Circle K, right?
They had a very affordable one in Lordsburg.
Very good. Gas was off chain. It was so darn good. Even Lordsburg, I mean, right? You know, you can call it living, maybe. But hey, Circle K, that's absolutely living it up good with our friends at Circle K. Whether you're in Arizona, Maricopa County, all throughout
Lordsburg,
beautiful place. Arizona's third stop
as well.
It is Circle K. Download Circle K app, opt into that Inner Circle program for free. Terms and conditions do apply at participating locations. Also, shout out friends over at Access Insurance Agency of Arizona. For more than 15 years, they have been providing affordable and reliable car insurance to drivers in the Phoenix metro area. As a dedicated part of the community, Access Auto helps Arizona drivers get insured by offering flexible coverage options and accepting various forms of ID, driving histories, and license types. By partnering with over 20 insurance carriers, they make it easy for you to compare rates and find the best policy for your budget. With bilingual Spanish-speaking agents at 9 convenient locations across the valley, Access agents are ready to assist customers in finding the right coverage for their budgets and identifying available discounts. Both cash and card payments are acceptable for added convenience. Access Auto, trusted by the community, rooted in Phoenix, and ready to help. All statements are subject to the terms, exclusions, conditions of the applicable policy. In all instances, the current policy contract language prevails. Coverage is subject to individual policy meeting, underwriting qualifications, state availability, other terms, conditions, and exclusions may apply. Shout out friends over at Access Insurance Agency of Arizona. We are back here at the PHNX Rising podcast, chatting through what is going on. I do want to bring up something real quick. Noah, behind the Mac, behind the brand redacted computer. I slipped. If you can go ahead, scroll up a little bit to, I think we had a Golden Man Pat comment a little bit earlier, right there.
Rees Fooderies.
They're dead. And Rees, and you can also keep scrolling a little bit further up, Noah, as well. Yeah, biggest disappointment. Rees Food Reviews. They are officially dead.
Eat the beans on bun dog.
Rees, we're going to talk about this later, but I don't want this to get lost. Would you like to make an official statement on your lack of the food review?
That was one of the worst.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Yeah, get the camera on him, please. Thank you.
To the people on why I did not eat the Chico's Tacos hot dog. That was one of the worst smelling and worst looking foods I've ever seen in my entire life. There was zero shot I was going to eat that and then have to go back to Deming in Lordsburg, New Mexico the very next day in a car with Owain and Max. That experience was already miserable. To have eaten that hot dog with that experience would have made it 100 times more miserable. Thank you.
Please respect his privacy at this time.
Yes.
Yes.
But why didn't you eat it?
I told you. I think I made it very clear.
That was a business decision, wasn't it?
There we go. See, look at that. Thomas is not happy now because you didn't give his childhood spot a rating.
Well, Amanda Wilson says I wouldn't have even touched that thing. And Amanda, thank you for your support.
Reese, what do you say to the people who feel hurt by this decision?
No offense, but I feel that if you like Chico's tacos, I'll take you out to eat somewhere nice.
My word.
How did you find the tacos, Max? We had the tacos, of course, at Chico's.
We were saying, by the way, goes our Chico's Taco sponsorship for all journey, but that's okay.
I don't think that's a real
I
risk
think
here,
I think it's done so. Very, very few times in my life can I honestly recount something that has zero taste. Not positive, not negative, zero taste. That is very difficult to do. There is legitimately negative taste or flavor on that. This including cheese, this including salsa, anything. Crazy. I genuinely cannot remember the last time that I had zero taste.
There we go.
Yeah.
I had a hot dog in the El Paso Stadium for all the people that went.
You
there.
did.
And it was
Cold.
not warm.
Yeah, you did. You did a food review of it.
It was room temperature,
Actually,
but it wasn't bad.
Did we post a food
I
review?
don't think we
ever
did.
posted that one.
I don't think we posted it. This is getting off the rails as typical of this
We've
show.
got quite a few videos we haven't posted.
We
but
do.
We'll get around to them.
Well, speaking of off the rails, speaking of things that aren't too that don't look too appetizing or too
recommended by
appealing, FC Tulsa's pitch. We got to talk about FC Tulsa, the opponent on Saturday, right? You look at their three meetings from this season. You start off with the season opener, Phoenix Rising hosting. Right? This is a very different team, both from the Tulsa side and from Phoenix Rising side. A 1-0 loss at home. KG match. Tulsa scored a goal. Bad pass off a giveaway. They end up scoring in the first half, right? Then you flash forward to April, the Open Cup matchup. Phoenix Rising go down to 10 men. 1-1 in regulation time, and then they go straight to kicks from the mark. And Phoenix Rising end up.
I went to extra time as well.
Extra time, then kicks from
Bear
mark.
in mind that there was actually a big save in that.
Yes, down a man for extra time, and Phoenix Rising end up winning in the Open Cup. And then you flash forward a couple months to June. Tulsa, Phoenix Rising, 1-1.
I'd like to clear up some slander that
Now we're talking about the sport.
I didn't say that Chico's
I don't
Tacos
think any
was
of those
good.
games
I said
are
it's good.
really meaningful to talk about just because it's a different Rising team. I mean,
100%.
It is
playing
true.
those games.
100%.
I never watched that third game or the second game in the league, but I know that Rakovsky made a couple saves. But the first
couple?
game, oh well, yeah, a couple. He made a couple more.
FC Tulsa had an XG of 2.74.
But yeah, I
scored
don't
one
care
goal.
about that now. That's
Dang.
months ago. I think because of the evolutions that Rising have gone through this season, especially, again, I just hate to keep bringing this up, but it's really what this team is. They've changed a lot over the last month.
They did.
And I know those games were much more defensive as already, but now Rising is kind of a totally defensive team in this playoff run. And it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes against Tulsa's style.
Let's talk a bit about, kind of pull in here now, talk a bit about when FC Tulsa last lost a league home game. The answer to that, by the way, for anyone wondering when they last lost a league home game, is April 12th. It was against Oakland Roots, actually, back then. Wolfgang Prentice with the brace. How many goals would you suggest that Tulsa have conceded in their last 5, 6 home games? Give me a number.
5.
Give me a number. Give me a number. 6 games. You said 5?
Or 7.
Don't. You're cheating. You're looking at scores. You're cheating. You're looking at scores.
Disqualify me, DQ me.
The answer is
Red card.
1, by the way. 1 goal in their last
Well,
6
that's
home
all you need
games.
to win.
It is all you need to win.
Facts.
But to be clear, that is one team. And you know who that one team was? Birmingham Legion.
What a club.
Orange County couldn't do it. Lexington couldn't do it. San Antonio couldn't do it.
In
Colorado
fairness,
Springs couldn't do it on 2 occasions.
all those teams that you just mentioned.
Well, Lexington owned Rising this year.
Yeah, well, they didn't do it pretty.
They didn't make the playoffs,
Yeah.
but they did own Rising.
I mean,
this
San
year.
Antonio's attack was completely lost.
True.
That last month. They were absolutely
very
gone.
true.
They had 20 shots in that game, 6 on target. Didn't end with a goal. I do think that is both an impressive stat, but I also think it needs to be caveated with the fact that those teams, quite frankly, aren't great.
Very true.
That's fair. That's fair. It's an interesting one again, and I do agree with what you guys are saying. Right, there's not too much you can glean from the previous meetings. Both these teams certainly have changed a lot. I mean, again, especially from Phoenix Rising's perspective, it's become a lot more of a cohesive defensive unit. And right, people in the chat are very much agreeing. Right, going on Pat, match screens with a single set piece being the difference on Sunday. Tom is in the chat. We're overanalyzing it. Nothing beats the power of friendship. Vibes FC. James already predicting we're getting a win for sure. Right. This is an interesting one, and I gotta ask first, by the way. We're talking about pitch. That is something that has played a factor in previous matchup. That is something that I do think there is some relevance. We did note, right? The El Paso pitch, definitely a lot better since baseball season ended, which is a very weird thing now that we're talking about the USL Championship playoffs, which is a football playoff thing, not a baseball. But right, it does have to be mentioned. The pitch on El Paso, pretty decent. Historically in Tulsa, not the case. I'm curious how much that plays a factor.
Yeah, but
pretty good
I'm
against
gonna.
Colorado
Well, it
Springs.
will do. Here's the thing: the reason we haven't seen Tulsa looking good by and large for years, is because the pitches get better as the season, as you get into the postseason, because it's not being dug up and put back down again week after week after week. You'll have known that from Reno, right? The pitch looks at its best when you're not dealing with the minor league baseball
100%.
team ripping it up
100%.
and putting it back down again every single week. When it is given time to kind of sit there for a while, it looks better. The one thing you can't get away from, despite the fact that the actual playing surface will be better than it was, is the dimensions. The dimensions are still going to be what they are, right? It is going to be smaller than you'd typically like. Okay, it favors a team that plays more direct. Tulsa are that team.
Yeah,
And that's a big part of their home field advantage.
100%.
But Rising have also moved to a slightly more direct style of play than we've seen.
They have. I mean, couple other questions kind of to pose you guys. Let's set the scene for this matchup, right? Tulsa going the full 120 against Springs in last round's matchup. I'm curious, right? Again, like it's a week. They don't have to travel because they have the back-to-back home matches. Does that play a factor here? Is there a bit of fatigue?
I don't know. I mean, I think there'll be a little bit, but I think that's something that would be more prevalent if this was a conference final or a final game where they've had 2 or 3 120s in a row. Just kind of the one-off. I don't think it will be as impactful as, we're talking 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, not at all to me. I think that the nature of it, you've got a week out to recover from an extra half an hour. All right, I think they'll be perfectly fine at this point.
Sure, I tend to agree. I don't think it's anything too crazy, especially knowing that they aren't going to have to travel. We're looking at lineup, right? Right, nothing unchanged from the last regular season match up against Pittsburgh Riverhounds to their last matchup against El Paso in last round's matchup. Do we see the same starting 11 for a third consecutive match?
Well, depends who's healthy.
This is fair.
It does depend who's healthy. That's a key thing.
This
Now,
is fair.
today's
Would
comments
you like to see the same one?
I think after seeing what I saw last week with the performance of Ryan Flood at left wing back and Acela Senge at right wing back, I wouldn't hate it as much because I do think that those two stepped up huge against El Paso and they were very good defensively. With that being said, when you have Daniel Flores, when you have Colin Smith, if both those guys are healthy, those will bring so much more going forward than Flood and Asenge can.
It is an if.
true.
It is an if. So we'll
Yeah.
have to see.
And that's the thing, right? They're both being described as still kind of, to an extent they're working through their injuries. There is hope that they will be able to travel this weekend. We will see by the time that that Rising makes the trip if they will be able to. I don't know. I'd also suggest that it may not be the best idea to throw them into the starting lineup after missing several games with the kind of injuries that they've had. I don't know if you want to, kind of put your eggs in saying we want to get, probably at least an hour out of them if they're starting. I don't know if you want to do that. We'll see. I mean, they may need to make adjustments. I do think that you need a little bit more in the attack.
That was going to be my next question.
How you work that out.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing. Rising has been really good defensively. We actually, again, it's something that Pape alluded to today in his comments, right? That sometimes the hardest thing in football actually is scoring the goals. They've been doing that all year long. They couldn't defend. Now they're defending, and up top, it's not that it's nothing. It's not that there aren't chances. And after Rising took a 1-0 lead, I think they actually did look a bit better. Inevitably, the game opened up slightly more at that point because El Paso really have to go for it. They're also, again, down to 10 men at that point. But, I think the problem when you face better teams is that while Rising's stingy defense might limit options for the opponents, it's not really giving them a lot necessarily up top.
Sure. Frequently.
I mean, again, we're talking clear-cut chances. We're talking... If Rising's not given a penalty, we talk about the red card as the difference maker in the last one. I'm not sure if Rising scores if they're not given a penalty.
I don't disagree.
In 90 at least. 120 is a different matter. Again, especially against 10 men. Completely different story. Yeah. But I don't know if they score in 90 minutes if they're not given a penalty.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, right, where you have Boye in kind of that pseudo kind of false 9 role, even drifting out a bit to the left in last match, right? Do you, I'm not even saying you necessarily move Boye from the starting 11, but do you switch who is going to be on that up top role to a more traditional number 9, right? You have your options, right, including Isan Sako, who did score the last time these two clubs played. You do have Raimmaker Brawl, who scored a brace last season. Both time has elapsed aplenty within both of those occurrences. I am curious if, even necessarily without necessarily favoring one player or the other, if that's something you do consider to give you a different wrinkle in the attack this time around.
I understand where you're coming from, but I also fear that this front 3 can get left on an island at some times because you look at the midfield, it's Jean-Eric Moursou and JP Scarce, and they're very good in a double pivot in their roles, but there's not really a guy who's going to be a creator out of those two. Moursou's obviously progressive, but he's not going to create chances once you reach the final third. And then we mentioned kind of the holes with those two wingbacks. And again, I've talked about this before. I worry that if without Smith and Flores, that the front 3 gets left on an island, regardless of if you play Hope as that false 9 or if you put a Sako or Remy Cabral in a more traditional 9.
Absolutely. Well, we got plenty more to talk about of this matchup, including score predictions, and we will do so on the other side of this break. Shout out to our friends over at Branded Bills. Branded Bills, you got to look good, and you got to look good with our friends at Branded Bills, right? They have the hatware, ASU, U of A, Phoenix Suns, multiple different colleges throughout the entire country. We're talking not just a handful, not just a few handfuls, dozens of hatware to make your head look so much better, right? They also have custom orders, which they're massive about, right? We did a custom order, a little collab with our friends at Branded Bills, the PHNX hats, and we just look so gosh darn good in them. They have all the different choices from you. Go to brandedbills.com.
Oh, we got the hats.
Yes, use promo code BB PHNX for 15%.
Don't tip that over, please.
15% off your order. Why, thank you, sir.
Again,
brandedbills.com, promo code BBPHNX for 15% off that first order. Look good and look great doing so with our friends over at Branded Bills. Also, shout out our friends over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. These men can attest to it. Guys, what was one of the highlights and one of the lowlights of the trip? One of the lowlights, it was leaving on our drive down the I-10. And
leaving Deming.
Well, that's a whole nother
That was
story.
a highlight.
There's no Gila River Resorts Casinos in Deming, New Mexico. No, one of the lowlights, it was leaving the beautiful area of south of Phoenix area where you have the beautiful Gila River Resorts Casino's Wild Horse Pass. And one of the highlights was after a grueling car ride of stops and detours and way too much New Mexico, you enter in, you see the bright cascade lights of that Gila River Resorts Casino's Wild Horse Pass. And that's what we love. You do you with our friends at Gila River Resorts Casinos, 4 locations throughout the valley. Copious number of Cardinals watch parties, including one this Sunday at their Wild Horse Pass Upper Deck location. You do you. Visit playathila.com for more information. Back, PHNX Rising podcast. Quick shout out as well, by the way. We're repping ASU with our friends over at Brandon Bills. We're taking over Mullet Arena this Friday, November 7th. Little ASU hockey crew join the one and only Leah Merrill and our PHNX hockey crew again as ASU hockey takes on Colorado College Tigers. We love it. On this Friday, again, you can get tickets. Go phnx.com/tickets. Do it today. Shout out to ASU. Get a little hockey in you before you get some football in you, some Phoenix Rising football in you the following day. All right, we left off, and I know we you can feel free to make us a prediction or not if you want.
Not
Chat,
quite yet.
and that's okay. Chat, you may as well. I know James Wilson in the chat already predicting a win. Feel free to hop in there as well. Reese, would you like to give a prediction?
We got more to talk about. We haven't even spoken about Tulsa's people yet.
I guess we can. Sure.
You want to talk about Taylor Calheira?
Sure.
American Soccer Analysis puts him as the highest person in goals added.
Oh, yes.
The USL Championship in the 2025
I think
season.
a lot of their stats are a little.
I know
funky.
some of their stats are a little funny, but you can't deny the fact that
No, I know.
that
I know.
Calheira has been
Absolutely.
a huge part of what they've done there. It's just the goals.
To put it into more normal person stats, he
15
scored
goals.
15 goals in the league, 19 across all competitions in his first season after making the jump from Next Pro. I do think that he is a very good goal scorer, regardless of what the analytics say. He's an eye test guy. He's an old classic.
100%.
Max, I know you love the eye test, given
We do love
your age. And he passes the eye
You
test.
legitimately are the one wearing glasses.
Well, no.
You have the audacity.
My eye test joke was not like the 4 eyes joke or you have bad eyes joke because you're old. It was you're more traditional because you're old. You don't believe in advanced analytics.
That's fair.
Because you're old.
Owen's also hanging on to being
But
on
he's
the other
young.
side of
He's
30.
younger.
I'm going to interrupt you. Super chat, William, 499. Be challenging to face Tulsa, which Phoenix fears the most. He's already jumping in with his score prediction. 2-1, Tulsa wins. Ooh.
Yeah.
We appreciate your super chat, William. Thank you very much.
Calheira also has 2 goals in the USL Jägermeister Cup, which I figure is always important to bring up.
We know Max loves that competition.
Yes.
Great competition.
Stefan Lukic is also a decent enough 9 behind him, former Chattanooga Red Wolf, who also plays in the USL Jägermeister Cup because they're in USL League One. He came on in the second half against Colorado Springs and then went on to score the winner in the USL playoffs, not the Jägermeister Cup.
That's fair.
Cool.
Anyone else from Tulsa that you see, as a big threat, something that can disrupt a Phoenix Rising game plan? And I think especially knowing that these two clubs, right, in their respective matchups last round, each got a goal. That was it that decided the game. Again, Tulsa needed one. I mean, granted, they scored, didn't go the full. It went the full 120 without needing to wait to the 120, but they needed the extra time in order to get there. Who is the difference maker? Because I agree with what the chat's saying. I'm seeing some higher score lines in the chat than what I was expecting, but this might come down to a single goal. Is there anyone from Tulsa that you bank on to be that threat?
Calheira.
Yeah.
Be that guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of that simple.
Okay.
We got to be honest.
We love it.
It's absolutely that simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you say Reese?
No, I think
Peñaranda's
got a goal in him.
Peñaranda.
Peñaranda,
the goalkeeper, by the way.
Goal stand games.
Good penalty save, am I, Peñaranda?
Yeah.
Let's be clear on that one. If this goes the distance, Peñaranda, good from the spot.
It might
Definitely
very well be. Go down to the keepers. Couple notable shot stoppers this season. We'll have to see. Golden Man Pat 1-1, followed by the lottery of pens.
0-0.
James also saying
0-0.
respecting William, but I do not believe Rising fear Tulsa 3-1 Rising win. Amanda Wilson, 2-1 Rising win. Deborah echoing Amanda Wilson with a 2-1 Rising win. You're saying 0-0.
Who wins the shootout? You got to predict the shootout winner.
No, I don't know.
No, you do. You'd have to. We're
No,
not
I'm
moving
not.
on.
Owen,
We're not moving on.
Owen loves to sit on the fence.
Nope,
Evans.
we're staying here. We're not moving on until he predicts the winner on the shootout.
Rising wins the shootout.
There we go.
Hold on.
They fluke it. I mean, anyone flukes it. It's a shootout. It's
After last week, where you were telling
Owen's playing-
everybody
Owen's-
that Rising's penalty luck runs
Bye-bye,
out.
Liechtenstein. Yeah. and
Hello,
hello, New
Albuquerque.
Mexico.
hello Albuquerque.
Yeah. Man, gotta love it. Reese, what you
Is
got?
there anyone here who wants to go to Albuquerque? Can I just ask that one?
One
Do you
nil
want to go to
Tulsa.
Albuquerque?
You
Do you wanna
do.
go to
You want to
Albuquerque?
go?
Do the people in the chat really want to go to Albuquerque? I
It's
mean,
not about the town.
you want to go on, but Albuquerque
It's about
is
the memories
is
along the
a
way.
miserable,
Huh?
miserable
Whatever.
place.
1-0 Tulsa.
1-0 Tulsa in extra time or 90?
90.
Okay. Thomas in the chat, 2-1 for Rising in extra time. Damon in the chat, giving it to Rising with the correct notation. Not in 90 plus. Interesting. Okay. This is tough. I mean, I think it's 1-0 Rising. And I will say it's going to be in 90. They might leave it late. It feels like an 80, somewhere in the 80s, 80th minute or so, but I think it's going to be Rising.
Here's what I'll say, all right? In the first round, there were 6 schools across the 8 games, which is nuts.
disgusting.
Insanely low.
Disgusting.
Now, knowing USL, all right, you kind of think, knowing trends, you'd think, it's going to repeat in the second round too. But knowing USL,
It's
I
going to
wouldn't
be the
be surprised if
exact
it's the exact
100%.
opposite.
100%.
I disagree slightly, and I'll tell you why. The reason that the scoring was so low in part is, I think, because of some teams came in, parked the bus, and caused upsets. Those teams are still going to park the bus this week.
Thomas in the chat, we win, and OC wins. He's double predicting. Good news, Bluebird, 1-0 something win for Rising. James Wilson in the chat, let's host. Let's actually go through some of the other matchups, or I should say the past results from last round. Then we can get into matchups, which we should note, right? If Phoenix Rising win, right, the path to them hosting is they would need Orange County to topple New Mexico for them to host
Mexico.
the Western Conference Championship. Ooh, Western Conference Finals. That's a weird thing to say for this Phoenix Rising team, but it is a possibility. It is a possibility. Right, let's going through some of the matchups. Owen, would you like to do your voice that you haven't done in a while?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Louisville nil.
It's a lot of boring results.
All right, well,
let's be
anyway,
clear. I'll go on. We'll go through them.
All right.
Let's talk about these. Not that it loads
Voice
in
actually
order
won't
because the
really do it.
thing
Do the voice.
doesn't really want to do it. Hang on a minute. We might get scores. Give me a minute.
Louisville
We
nil.
want. No, you can
Detroit
stop now.
one.
You're boring.
Pittsburgh nil. Hartford.
Can we tell him to shut up?
No, because you're not doing it.
Yeah,
He's
you're not
gotta
doing
take
it.
I'm
Someone's
gonna
gotta
do
do
it
it.
when
No.
when the scores come up properly, but they won't.
We're really
USL website.
unprofessional.
USL website doing USL website.
Here we go.
USL
I
website
know
for
what a
something
guy.
can be
Oh, here we
accessed
go.
on multiple other
Oh, man,
websites.
anyone
Such
can
as
do
what?
it.
What was yours of choice?
FOTMob.
Who uses FOTMob? It gets
Because
lineups wrong.
well, I've got it
Wow,
up
I
right
got it
now,
up too.
and I
Crazy.
don't care about the lineups. I'm sorry, Max. I care about the scores.
That's right.
Yeah, well. Pittsburgh Riverhounds 0. After Athletic 0. Pittsburgh Riverhounds advance 4-2 on penalties.
Mm.
Louisville City 0. Detroit City 1.
Fraudulent 2 years in a row.
North Carolina
No happy about that.
One.
Louisville's been fraudulent
Loudoun
forever,
United.
though, haven't they?
0. FC Tulsa 1. Colorado Springs Switchbacks 0.
Real
after
quick.
extra time.
Real quick. That has got to be, for North Carolina, what an eerie feeling of being like, yay, we advanced, but also, you're not playing next year.
Yeah,
That's
I got
that
strong
is a
views on
qu-
that one. I
bit-
think the way that they're currently absconding from their responsibilities of paying the players next year while also saying,
Crazy.
we might come back in
Crazy.
Division 1. I hate it. Don't let them in, quite frankly. Pay your players up in full, and I'll
100%.
accept that. Do not go and decide you can rip up contracts with players who've got guaranteed contracts at this late stage and then turn around and say, no, we want to come back and play in Division 1. You should not be rewarded for that kind of behavior.
100%. I am going, you want some Max Simpson betting advice with our friends over at Bet365. And does it pay
That's
off?
bad.
Does
Don't
it pay
follow his
off?
advice.
No.
No,
Bet-
this guy gets
bet
things
the
wrong.
house on Rhode Island. I'm sorry. A player distraction.
We
I
haven't
don't
even
care if
gotten
you're
to
at
that
home.
one yet, but
We're
New
getting there.
Mexico
But I'm just
United
letting you know.
2,
There you go.
San Antonio 0.
He's going in chronological order. I just
El
noticed
Paso
that. That's
Locomotive
terrible.
0. Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, bro. We know.
One.
We covered it.
Charleston Battery 0, Rhode Island 0.
I hate the chronological.
Charleston
Go by
Bat-
conference.
Rhode Island
Yeah.
won 5-3.
This man's
on
all over the
penalties.
place.
He's lost
No.
it.
Lost the plot.
No,
Never
you
mind.
say this is chronological. You do it
Mhm.
chronological.
We know it's okay. Go on.
You
Keep
look at
going.
stuff. Sacramento Republic 0, Orange County 0. Orange County wins 5-4 on penalty. Speaking of which, Danny Stone masterclass on the goal.
I'm actually that New Mexico Orange County
Also,
could be
shout out
gross, but I'm very intrigued by it.
Lopez.
I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued by that New Mexico Orange County
Roro
matchup.
Lopez ending his USL career by throwing a few punches and getting sent off after being rugby tackled. What
Love
a
it.
time!
Love it.
What a
This
time!
league.
Oh man.
We don't shout out other podcasts on our
No, we
podcast,
don't.
Max.
This-
No free
this
ads.
league.
No free
Is
ads.
the name of a podcast?
No free ads.
News to me.
It's a
This.
free ad.
No free ads.
They've been going
This
for a
USL.
year, Max.
They
How didn't you
have.
know this?
And you literally.
I don't need to know.
You know people on the pod.
I do.
actually know
I don't
all
need to-
3 people.
Don't need to know.
You
anyone
do know
else
all
but
3
ours.
people on the podcast.
Yeah.
Name all 3.
No.
Do you know any of
Don't
them?
acknowledge. Don't need to acknowledge. The
Do you know any of
competition.
the 3?
Of course, don't need to
What?
acknowledge competition.
Give me their initials.
I'm not going to.
The initials of 1.
I'm not doing anything.
Well,
give me-
send them in a text so we know if you.
Just move
talking at
on.
me.
I'm not giving you guys any
Man,
satisfaction.
you're just terrible.
He doesn't
know.
Terrible.
Okay, for
He
sure.
doesn't know.
What
Max,
are our
doesn't,
next?
Max doesn't pay attention.
What are our next matchups? What do we got in the next round? Right. So we know Rising playing Tulsa. We talked about New Mexico, Orange County again. If Rising win, if New Mexico wins, we will travel to Albuquerque. If Orange County wins, Rising will host Orange County. How are we looking in the East?
Owen.
North
Carolina, Rhode
That was
Island,
tough.
and Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna
Detroit.
go Rhode Island and
It's-
Pittsburgh.
All right, so you're predicting Rhode Island and Pittsburgh hosting in the Eastern
Yep.
Conference Finals.
Yep.
Okay. You're saying you're gonna tell Noah. You're gonna tell Noah behind the computer that Detroit is losing, that the run is over.
Number 8 seed Detroit City, who, if I'm not mistaken, has the.
How are you containing yourself behind that desk?
Are they ahead of? They're ahead.
How are you
they're
not
ahead of
rushing it
Colorado
right now?
Springs.
Give
They
me a little-
are. They
little,
know they're on the road for the entirety of the playoffs at this point. They will not beat Pittsburgh Riverhands.
They got Detroit grit. They'll do it.
Oh boy.
I don't know. I feel like the thing about that grit, it gets you the one upset that's just like no one expected it, and then you're not going to repeat it. I'm afraid.
Comment that Danny Van Gaal with a goalkeeper.
You got
sub. That's a great
your
shout for
one
Orange
big
County.
upset.
That's okay.
Thomas, Rhode Island, and Detroit picking the dogs. Picking the dogs. No, we didn't ask you, by the way. What's your prediction for Tulsa Rising?
Do you really want to know?
Of course.
He's going to tell us like 7-0.
Yeah.
6-7.
Okay, we're
To
out.
Good for
who?
you, Noah. Good for you.
Who's going to
Thank you.
win?
Oh, Rising.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Love it or hate it, James Wilson in the chat. Love it or hate it, and end up in Albuquerque. We're definitely going because we have to support our team.
All I would say, the team put buses onto El Paso. You never know. You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Well, Rising might park that bus in order to get to Albuquerque. If
Just
it
like
comes to
Detroit
that.
City FC did against
Hey,
Louisville.
well, we got to get
Parking a
there.
bus.
We got to get there, and we got to get to the rest of our show, and we'll do so on the other side of this final break. Got to rally for this team, and you can do so with our friends over at Rally House, right? Rally House. How many times I would tell you, you can go in person to any of their 3 Valley locations. You can go online to rallyhouse.com. You can support Phoenix Rising with different gear, not just the stuff that you can find in the Phoenix Rising store, right? They got glasses, they got pint glasses, they got all the types of different merch for Phoenix Rising fans that are the sicko Phoenix Rising fans. And I know you in the chat, I mean this in the most loving way. You're sickos in the best way. Go to rallyhouse.com. Go in person to their 3 Valley locations to get your hands on that Phoenix Rising merch. Right, they also have other teams, Suns, Cardinals, D-backs, ASU, U of A, Mercury, everything. They have it at Rally House in store and online. Check it out today. Again, rallyhouse.com. It is the place for fans who want the best die-hard Arizona sports fans gear. Rally House, there's no better way. Also, shout out to friends at Shady Rays. I wore my Shady Rays the entire trip. You know why? Because what else would I wear? I would wear no other shades because nothing else compares. I was rocking my Shady Rays in the car, on foot. I dropped my Shady Rays a couple times. I mean, that's on me. But hey, they held up because they are that darn durable. But even if my Shady Rays broke, or if I got another postseason dap up or hug by a certain Phoenix Rising coach and they broke again, then that'd be okay because I have their loss and replacement policy. It is the best in the game. Shady Rays, no one else is offering it quite like they are. And with the holidays around the corner, make sure to get your hands on a pair of the polarized sunglasses rated 5 stars or better by hundreds of thousands of people. Go to shadyrays.com, use promo code PHNX for 35% off that first order. Again, shadyrays.com, promo code PHNX for 35% off that order. Do it today. Ciao, Shady Rays. Hit that like button, chat. Appreciate you guys. We got an active show. Love it, love it, love it. Deborah in the chat. Need to support this team. Even means going to Albuquerque. I get it. We're getting ahead of it. I love it. Tom's in the chat. We're praying for a home final. We got to handle it, and then seeing what happens. We're trying to do a whole final thing. We love it.
Boys, we do need to take things one step at a time, though. Don't get carried away.
I agree.
Let's take things 1 week at a time.
And here's the thing.
1 week.
I agree.
At a time.
And here's the thing,
deal
though.
with Tulsa this week.
We want to host a home playoff match, but if we do go on the road, there's so much adventure that you can have, and all the content that could come out.
I
of
know.
this.
Like, I might have some adventures this weekend in Tulsa if my flight isn't part of the 10% the federal government are about to cull.
This is true. But
Let's see. Fingers crossed I get to Tulsa.
This is true, but we even have a lot of content that no one has seen yet from
We do.
this past week.
Should we? What do we want to do? Do we want to do?
I hate
We got
that. I hate
two
the
options
motions. Stop
here.
doing the motions.
I know.
Stop
I
doing the
know.
motions.
I know. Well, I hear that Rees ranked 6 or 7 places.
Gosh, darn. Actually,
was
he
6,
did.
actually.
Did you do that on purpose?
No. I gave him a list of towns. We actually were going to do 7, and then we cut one because it was kind of.
Reese, you are featured in both of them. Would you like to do your rankings? Or would you like to
We'll do the
video
rankings first.
Let's
do
do
the
the
rankings.
rankings. We're going to talk about places that Reese wanted to rank the towns along the way, or cities in some cases.
Well,
iffy, but
to even call some of these towns and cities is a little too much. The
look
photo
how
of the right,
miserable he looks. That's him in
that's
Lordsburg,
Deming,
by the way.
Or
No,
no,
that
that's
was
Lordsburg.
Lordsburg.
Sorry, Deming is bottom of the list. That is by far the worst place I have ever entered in my entire life. We had a little bit of an issue in Deming because we couldn't find gas.
No, we couldn't find gas.
We
went
to
to like 3 different gas stations.
And as a result, we
There was
went
no
all
gas.
across the city. And unfortunately, we went all across the city. That is an absolutely just horrible place.
Yes.
I cannot stress this enough.
I agree.
Deming, New Mexico, the worst place I've ever seen in my life. Next, Wilcox. We didn't stop in Wilcox, but we drove through it. So I just had a couple looks out the window.
The chat is passionate.
Didn't look pretty. Didn't look great. Actually looked awful. I'll give it a second chance if I ever, for some reason, step foot in Wilcox, Arizona. But hopefully that never comes to fruition. Las Cruces, New Mexico, number 4. Wow.
I remember pulling into Las Cruces and you just kind of going like, oh, this place looks awful. And it's like, you felt like it was going to get better.
Yeah.
And then it just didn't.
Well, we were on the outskirts of the city when
It was
I said
high
that.
hopes from afar.
And yeah, because
It
it was like,
didn't
oh my
look bad.
gosh, their civilization is big. You know,
Yeah.
we had just gone to Deming and then the middle of nowhere, New Mexico. It was all up. And Las Cruces was absolutely miserable. Number 3, Benson. The only reason it's number 3 is because it looked somewhat nice. It had trees. Again, we didn't stop here. We just drove through. No, do you remember how many trees were in Deming, New Mexico? Can you recall seeing a tree in Deming, New Mexico?
The worst part is this is actually a very fair way to be on number 3, just by default. Yes.
There were not a tree. There was
More
not a tree in
trees in
sight.
Benson than Deming had road markings. I'll give
Absolutely.
it that.
Deming, New
Gosh.
Mexico.
Deming had a lot of
absolutely grim.
potholes. I'll give him
It,
that.
it
There were
had a
of
lot
potholes.
going on there. Wow. Number 2, Marana, Arizona. We stopped there for breakfast.
My old hood, according to
Max
Damon.
is,
It's not-
yeah,
it's not-
whatever.
It's not bad. It's on the outskirts of Oro
It's-
Valley. There's not much out there. You're a few minutes away from actually more of the part of town. We got breakfast. It was solid. It was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It would have been number 1 if we hadn't gotten off the freeway and the same exit, the same road that I had gotten off there 2.5 years ago, mind you, like April 2023, I had gotten off that exit. The road was under construction back then. That same stretch of road was still under construction 30 months
being
later.
Being born and raised in Tucson and driving that exact road whenever you need to get to the freeway, I can absolutely promise you it's going to be that way for another 5 years. Mark my word, bookmark this, November 5th, 2020.
Max will get a tattoo
2030.
if construction is not done by then.
That's crazy.
And number 1, Lordsburg,
He's
New
actually
Mexico.
just going to get a traffic cone as the tattoo.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Lordsburg, New Mexico, number 1.
Paso players are
It's not number 1 because I thought it was special.
It was pretty magical.
It was something. The experience in the Circle K.
Quote of the year.
Quote of the year. Asked her, do you live in the cashier asked her, do you live in Demi or do you live in Lordsburg? And she said, if you can call it living. So awful
Circle
response.
K made it better.
But the Circle K made it better. I got some Starbursts. You got some chips.
I genuinely forget the brand, but it was like the ones where like the mixed bag of stuff.
But it wasn't.
But it was just the right chips. It was awesome.
Max,
it was Circle K.
When you gave me the bag, right, and you were
you look at it, you're sizing it up, and you're like, I don't know. You were skeptical. You were skeptical.
I was waiting for like other bits, and I was like, am I
Rees
really
is
going
a
to take all
Lordsburg
these
truther,
chips away from Max because those are the best part of them?
Right, we are running out of time now. We do need to kind of bring up something that you guys did.
Oh, yes.
When we were between two of those places that were listed. It's between Wilcox and Benson.
What a freaking scam.
And we went to see...
We paid $5.
What Rees and Max, I think, can certainly agree, was to them one of the best tourist attractions, I think, that you have seen in the 5 minutes that we were there.
I'm sorry for what you're about to watch.
Did we
You were about to watch 4 minutes of an educational video provided by our boys, Max Simpson and Rees Goodall. Enjoy.
All right, so we said if Rising would win, we would go to the thing.
The thing.
And we are at the thing.
The thing.
What are we about to do right now?
Well,
what is this?
it's the obvious. We're about to see the thing.
Okay.
It's the biggest roadside attraction on the most beautiful car road journey we've ever been on, from El Paso back to Phoenix, and we have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this Shell parent company, but Shell not the gas brand, never. Shell as in the corporate, whatever. This pseudo parent company freaking try to get us at the space bot, whatever. They try to get us at Desert Bot. They try to get us at Continental Divide. They try to get us at all these other firework, beef jerky convention center stands. But we held out for the thing. The thing. And here we go.
This is, oh my gosh, look at all these frogs. I didn't even realize we were gonna walk past these. This is by far the coolest store I've ever been in. This one kind of reminds me of Max. I don't know why, but it just has that Max Simpson energy. We got school buses. This is just the best store ever, and we're gonna go see that thing.
So Max, what are we learning here so far?
We're learning that over time, dinosaurs began to reject the aliens' commands, and they actually gain their own knowledge. They can actually use the alien technology against the aliens to communicate with them telepathically. And then, as you can see from this picture right here, that alien toast.
Max, don't touch the exhibits, Max. Don't touch them. If you've ever seen the movie Elf, Buddy the Elf, you'd be quite disappointed by what you're seeing. This dinosaur rebelling against the aliens decided to eat him.
Clear to see right here. It says the aliens helped cause the Civil War.
So boys, we've walked through most of it now. Can you just fill me in? What have we learned so far?
The aliens clearly control it all. I mean, but the two rival factions, it's pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there it is. There's the thing, Max.
Oh.
We gotta go see the thing.
Oh no.
Wow.
There it is.
I am speechless.
Shock and awe.
Well, we just completed the visit to see the thing. And I think it has changed our lives. Because it took $5 from us, and that's what we saw.
Yeah, I think it really opened our eyes to more personalities. This is very PHNX Rising-esque. I think our boy Giorgio from Ancient Aliens absolutely needs to pay a stop here. But yeah, that was life-changing and life-affirming.
Would you ever come here again, Max?
Ooh. Only one way to find out.
I don't like the sound of that.
It's so good.
What?
The thing.
The thing. What a place that exists. Listen, we looked this up after we went to the thing because I did not want any spoilers or anything like that. The parent company legitimately advertises for like 200 plus miles between Phoenix and El Paso strictly about the thing. They have like 3 or 4 other attractions that are not 6 or 7.
No, they got 6 or 7.
3 or 4 other attractions that they put a little bit of promotion on. Nothing quite like the thing. They were trying to get us over 3 different state lines. And it worked. We even said only if Phoenix Rising wins against El Paso, then we will go to see the thing.
And they did.
Goalieman Pat recommends episode 2 in Roswell.
To be fair, he's saying episode 2 in Roswell. The problem is Roswell is so far out of the way that
worth
it's not
it.
really on.
It's worth it for PHNX Ancient Aliens.
Are you sure about that? Because here's what it does. It's a 6.5-hour drive roughly to Albuquerque.
So a lot of opportunities.
If we added Roswell in there, it becomes an 11-hour, 47-minute drive.
Oh, you really want to spend that much time in New Mexico?
Episode 2 of PHNX Ancient Aliens is canceled.
Reese, you know what the worst part is? You would have to drive back through Deming again.
PHNX episode 2 of Ancient Aliens has been canceled once again. Just in case it wasn't heard the first time.
Dever in the chat, come for the Rising.
We might do Pie
Leave
Town
for the thing.
We could do a travel show.
We found our new thing.
Could do it.
There's a good spin-off there.
But
We found our new calling. The travel show would be big. Yeah, what were we... Chat, if you have a name
we are
for
not
a travel
going
show,
5 hours out of our way for the content, Thomas.
If you have
If
you have a name for the travel show, right? Because again, there's gonna be other opportunities in the future. Let us know. We'll workshop it. Drop in the chat. Hit us up at PHNX__rising. Drop in the Discord. Let us know. We want to workshop the names.
ALNS. It's the aliens one. We're just doing aliens.
I don't like that one.
It's
aliens with that vibe.
I did not like that.
Well, the aliens obviously, isn't it?
Maybe
Max just like
kinda need it.
TRVL travel.
Yeah, travel.
Kind of like it. I kind of like it. Amanda Wilson off.
Does anyone use that?
season-
Here's the kind of the
off-season
question.
side quest. Yes.
The
thing.
There is a design called that, so maybe not.
The thing was quite the experience. $5 gets you in, and
You don't
so
last
much more.
5 minutes inside of there.
But remember what those guys told us?
It was worth every penny.
It was worth every penny. That's what the people said as we were entering
And do we agree, Max?
the museum.
Context. Yeah.
Worth every penny. Was it worth every penny, Max?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy your trip to see the thing?
The thing.
Damon did say this would be captivating content. Appreciate you, Deborah. I think that just about does it here.
It
Appreciate
does. We're in
everyone joining us here on the PHNX Rising podcast. Of course, you can follow us in the meantime at PHNX__rising. Double the underscore.
Double the trips to the thing.
There we go. We can do that.
My word.
You know what? If we keep doing this, maybe we'll win the FIFA Peace Prize.
Wow.
Maybe.
Wow. You can follow us on Twitter at Max David Simpson. Follow Owen on Twitter at OJEvans18. You can follow Reese on Twitter at Reese11_. Just look at the screen, Gare. And you can follow Noah on Twitter, but he does not want me to give out his follower name, do you?
Correct.
Correct. We will be back for postgame after Saturday's match, win or lose, as we mentioned. Be on the lookout.
Or draw.
But of course, be on the lookout. There may be an opportunity for some additional content when you are watching the match. Again, follow us at PHNX__rising for any updates. We will, of course, post in the Discord as well. So be on the lookout. Could be some additional action. But either way, you'll see us post game. is a beautiful game, but it's way more beautiful when you go to The Thing.
The Thing.
The Thing.
We all silly like the mayor.